Welcome to the Good Morning Education Show. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. My name is Rotimi Itaya, and I'm excited to be here today. And without wasting much time, we also have Ebenezer Odetola Israel. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Simi. Good morning, Mr. Eben. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, education. Right.
Eben, how are you? Been a while. Welcome to
Fine.
the
Good
show.
morning. Good morning, Mr. Rowe.
I see you're enjoying your break.
Rick, thank you.
All right. So we are here and we are live on the Good Morning Education Show. Please do let us know where you're streaming from. Tell us your location. Tell us who you are. If you're a first timer, so we ring the bell of blessing to you. And of course, we always encourage you to share in the conversation of the day. As we plunge into today's episode and session, please do not hesitate to ask your questions. We will be glad to treat your questions as they come in. And of course, if you have contributions to make, please do not hesitate. Hit the button, do something so we can learn together, share together. Ultimately, we're here to grow together. This is the Good Morning Education Show. We're streaming from Lagos, Nigeria to West Africa to Africa and to the entire world. We are now ready. And I'm sure those of us in Las Vegas, Nevada, I think that was what Eva was waiting for. All right. We, as usual, we'll start with the news headlines, and then we'll move over to the major conversation of the day. And of course, we have some interesting headlines today, and we'll try to move straight into action as we speak about these headlines. All right. The first headline is CAN, that's Christian Association of Nigeria, no to wearing of hijab in Christian schools. Any comments on that?
This conversation has gone on for too long. I think it's time actually that there's a clear separation between religious schools. I won't say call them mission schools now or call them Christian schools, but religious schools and the non-religious school, the public or the private schools. And these issues come up more with the public school. Everybody is fighting for a superiority rights that I also matter. We need to take this out of the schools. Really, it's getting old. It's getting tiresome. It's getting unnecessarily drawn out. Khan has said this now. I'm sure there's going to be a response from the Muslim body too. We need to let this find a solution to this once and for all. Let students have a uniform. A uniform, it cuts a uniform. It doesn't have to do, because before we know what's going on now, we're going to start having clamoring from people who are alternative religion practitioners or that are traditional worshippers and say, oh, we have one bead or we have one anklet or we have one, those shaky things and all of that, and they want to include it in their uniform. What rights would we have to say no to them?
They are already saying that. They
So
are already saying that.
oh,
I think what I observe is that if we don't find solution to this as early as possible, it is going to trigger more sector to be demanding for that. Like I observed the chief of staff. The chief of staff actually said something last week that if you are a soldier and you find it very helpful by putting on a jab to the front. Maybe you want to go and fight one more, that you can put on the jab if the jab can protect you. So for them to also use that word, that means Khan is also waiting to Khan and more other organization to to also wait for another problem to come. So I think the president needs to address this. I think we need to have a national conference to address this. It is not all about religion, it is all about humanity. Humanity should come from uniform is uniform. There should be no, you know, there should be no tradition, religious tradition attached to anything we do in form of, I think it's over religious to me. I think the subject matter is going to be debated for years, till even to the end of the world.
So what's your advice?
Yeah, my advice is that as much as possible, the government should actually intervene. I mean, the federal government, not the state government this time, because I think the federal government opinion usually matters. The federal government opinion usually matters, and I'm sure if federal government can just use the word, "We want to go for this. It should be uniform." And uniform is uniform. And if they can actually use the word uniform, I think they can send military men to the school to actually secure the student. And Nigerians usually forget things easily. So in 3 days, 4 days, people that are protesting, by the time they see military men with ammo tank and more, they will go back to their houses and go and look for work.
All right. Bauchi governor or Bauchi government to pay JAM, NECO, other fees for students. Another one.
Yes, I think the federal government there was something I posted last week that education in Nigeria is free. I think it is their what's it called? How will I put it? It is their goal, or it is necessary for them to actually pay those things, especially for government school. I remember I passed through government school. We don't pay for WAEC. We only pay for, I think, one passport like that, maybe 500 naira or thereabout. So I know they pay for it. Maybe this time, I think they don't have the money again, or the money is somewhere else. So that's why they are now bringing this into news. This is not new at all. They normally pay for it. They pay for NECO. They don't. I don't know about NECO, but for WAEC, WAEC is 100%. I think JAM is not even part of it. So I think bringing JAM these days, and maybe they are trying to force the student to go to school by force. Maybe they are trying to reinforce them with this idea. But for WAEC, I know WAEC is compulsory. But this one I'm saying NECO. NECO is usually a private exam. It is something that in case you are interested in it, you write. If you are not, you don't. And for WAEC is also compulsory for everybody to. For JAM is actually compulsory for anybody who have actually passed WAEC or NECO or GCE to actually use as a stepping stone towards university.
Thank you so much. And good morning, KK. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning. Hi, Fee.
Good
Hi.
morning.
It's
Good
so
morning. Good morning.
here.
We have another headline that says Young Lady Bags Award for the most innovative optometry student in Nigeria. She wins cash prize.
Yeah, this is something we should be celebrating. I went through the news and saw that she designed something for dry eyes from computer use, which is something that affects a huge majority of us, not just adults, children also. We do a lot of staring at screens, computer screens, phone screens, and if somebody this is what we're expecting from our institutions of higher learning. You're not just coming out of school with a certificate that says she spent X years in school, and well, this is how far she has come. You have been found worthy to be an ambassador of the university, and that's it. It should translate to us seeing that this person can internalize what they have learned, and not only internalize it, they can also practicalize it and be innovative about it. So I celebrate her. I celebrate her invention. I hope she has funding to take this further than it just being something local, or something that stays as one model, but something that can be used, that people can benefit from in the larger society.
Eben, what's your take on this?
Yeah, congratulations to her, and I would like Nigerians to actually use how will I put it, our achievements to also encourage all other students out there in the classroom. Also, every teacher should be looking for this type of news as a form of entrance behavior before teaching in the classroom. A good, a positive news can actually trigger a lot out of children, and then with that, it is a form of motivation to the student, and this can actually allow us to get more of this good news because there are a lot of bad news out there.
Thank you. And why we prohibit cooking in school hostel? Uni Oshun speaks up.
I don't even understand this one. I don't even think he has something to say about it because I don't even know what this one. It makes no sense to me. I mean, one reason why students, maybe not an overt reason, it's the need for independence, the need to simulate real life experiences beyond school experiences. So if they're saying that they're not allowed, I didn't read the headline, so maybe there's more within the news than the headline appears to connote. But just looking at the headline, first of all, I don't even know why it's a headline. And then I don't know why they're doing that. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But maybe somebody else has something to say who read the news. I didn't read it fully.
Well, the explanation was that having each student being able to cook in the hostel, having gas cylinders or camp gas or whatever it is they use, hot plates, is a risk, is a safety risk. Yes, it is a safety risk. But what I would think that the school should do is to have cooking areas, allotted cooking areas, have kitchenettes. If they can't have a full kitchen that can take a number of students. So they have the control there. They have a central gas cylinder, and then they have um, cookers connected to that central unit. So you can't say this is a hostel, this is where students live. They're going to eat. You can't stop them from cooking and from eating if you're not going to provide an alternative for them. What's the alternative? Where do they cook? Where do they get their food from? Or is this a a ploy by the school to take up, well, selling food to them and then asking them, just like Keke said, this is shadowing of life. Some children get into the university without ever having had to cook anything in their lives. And now you're preparing them for life, for them being independent, and still they can't cook. Not because of any fault of theirs, but because the infrastructure is not provided for them. So what Union should be doing is, yes, you can prohibit cooking in the hostels, but let there be a cooking area for the students to be able to cook their food and have what they want to eat.
I think they are joking. It's just like comedy when you send comedy skits online. The only thing I know that do happen outside there, because I've been in the hostel before, is the issue of gas. Gas cookers are not actually allowed in the hostel, and I've been observing that for some time now because of the carelessness of so many students. They actually banned gas cooker in the hostel, but you can bring your stove to the school. What some of those people don't understand is that education is actually far more than academics. It is not all about the paper academic results. I have actually interacted with a student before, and she told me that she can't cook rice, ordinary white rice. And I cook rice and I brought it to her, and she told me my rice is very sweet. I was ashamed of myself because she can't cook. I needed to just like maneuver myself and just like this one, I can't be talking to this one because, and each time I see her on Facebook or see her anywhere, I'll just be like, this girl that time she can't cook. I hope she can cook now. Some of these opportunity, there should be a kind of opportunity for them to be able to, even the students in the hostel don't even cook. You are now giving them the bigger opportunity not to know how to cook at all. Because the statistic is there. More of them go to their Luther Grand or the joints to buy food. than cooking in their hostel. Now you want to ban it. Maybe the school is trying to bring out another, what's it called? Trying to bring out another idea to get money from the student. Maybe they just open a new canteen and more. I think, let me just assume that is what is trying to, that's what they are trying to do. Because cooking, very important, especially for ladies. Even men, we say we are even cooking.
Well, another part
Ah,
of the news says that they're encouraging eateries to move in and sell food to students at a controlled
I,
price. But
I knew.
instead of doing that, yes, we understand the safety risk. Yes, we understand the fact that someone could be using a stove and maybe it's too close to the bed or a bed sheet or and there's a fire out. Just create, just have a general cooking area.
Let me reply as the students, like one of the students will reply. They will reply that these people are scam. So that is how the student will reply. These people are scam.
Yeah, and
So
they
you
are,
now
to be
see
honest, they are.
they are, because you now see that there is a word saying that they are trying to invite vendors to come and be selling food in the school. Their food, you cannot buy 200 naira food and be okay. And some of these students, I know a lot of students that it is only rice, palm oil, granite oil, and Maggi alone they will bring to school. And then with that, they are going to cook in the morning, come back in the afternoon, eat little of it, and at night again, come and cook another one. So that girl will only spend maybe 500 naira
Exactly.
to cook in a day instead of dividing that money to spend almost 600 naira or 1,000 naira above to cook in a day.
And still you won't be
1,000 naira times
satisfied.
4, times 4 months. In a month, we have 30. 30, that is times 90. Uh-uh, all is well. Mr. Rotimi, you have to say something.
What do you want me to say? You said everything. And now that you're saying that, I think rice is made for women. I don't understand.
No, no, maybe you did not hear what happened. You did not really hear what happened. It was a very serious issue. Very serious one.
Well, I think everyone has their reasons. It's just that we need schools to be a bit more future thinking, um, and explore more options. We have too many restrictive perception, which shows how we look at people or perceive people. But then I believe that things will change. All right, let's move to the other news. Jam warns Uni Abuja, other universities over illegal admission. Any thoughts, KK? Safety check.
Uh, Let me say something. Junior Abuja is actually known for this. This one is very sure. It's a common thing. It's only in Junior Abuja you will study engineering, and by the time you want to go for service, that is when you will get to know that that course was not accredited in the school. So you need to wait for almost 2 to 3 years when the department will be accredited before you will now go for your NYS and collect your result. So, hmm, you know, as the student will say, as I said, it is a scam.
But wait, when you say illegal admission, what I think constitutes more than accreditation now, because accreditation is with the NUC. You understand? I think that either people don't have the cutoff mark, or I don't know. But then,
It is also part of it. But the one I know about Junior Abuja is accreditation of departments. They are actually known for that. There are so many departments there that even when I was interacting with during my NYSC, a lot of them from University of Abuja said a lot that I can't be saying online. You know, about how their VC was sacked due to this to that. That there are even some people that can get certificates without this and that. So many things. And for the admission of a team, it is 180 for universities, and some schools decided that it is 200. The likes of Unilag, Ife, Unilorin, and more. But I think Abuja is actually collecting 180. So, but for I think they need to define their illegal admission, because the illegal admission can be can be spread to so many things, maybe without even SSCs, SSM, WAEC results. And it happens a lot also in school, where a student will be in year two, they will call upon the student from the admission office that please, your result we are trying to verify. You get to know that you did not have maths or English. So at the end of the day, the boy will be sent out of the school, and it happens. It happens a lot.
All right, thank you so much. We'll move over to another one, and then we'll move to lives of students threatened. ASU reacts to Plateau University attack.
This is sad. If students can, we've been having issues of kidnapping, of, for a long time we've had incursion into the secondary schools where students are taking away in their numbers, and now it's spreading to the tertiary institutions. Security and safety of students in wherever they are, either in boarding school or in higher institutions, every parent wants to know that where their children are is safe. And so if ASU is reacting, yes, they have very valid reasons to react to this and to call for the safety of their campuses, especially for the Plateau State, for the Plateau University. They were not able to succeed in taking away any students this time, but we hope there is no next time. And if there is a next time, we can never tell what direction is going to swing in. Does being a student now have to be an extreme sport? That's what is becoming in Nigeria. So this is something that the call from ASU is very valid. And if care is not taken, this is something that can lead to another strike, because the lecturers will say they don't feel safe, the students do not feel safe, and so they cannot stay on campus. And there we have another looming strike. Oh goodness, I'm done.
All is well.
Honestly, as he was speaking, right, I just said to myself, this is so true. I mean, the reality is when you put dye in water, eventually that dye will spread and you will not notice the color of the water anymore, because it would just spread, and that's all you would see, the color of the dye. And that's the problem right now. That's what we are seeing. It started with little communities. It now moved into schools, bigger schools. Over and over again it has happened. Now it is moving into the universities, and nothing is still being done, and it's just going to spread. By the time I see that, I mean, a little leaven at the whole lump, and that's what we are seeing right now. Very soon there will be no, all that we'll be tasting is the leaven, and that's a huge problem. But is it going to be tackled? Who knows? It just seems like one of those things where people are majoring on the minors, and the majors are being left alone. And honestly, it's a shame. And it goes beyond, honestly, us to strike. We're talking about lives here. We're talking about, it's just honestly 100% ridiculous. And I wish the government would just do something about this, because it is sad, really sad. I personally will not allow my children, when my niece, my cousin, sorry, was posted to the north, we did not want her to go. We said, which NYSC? I beg, don't go. And that was NYSC, right? What are you going to call for public office? Please stay in the house, don't go for NYSC. And that's the reality. Very
Right.
soon, people, and then the inequality we see, literacy levels, everything will just keep going down. I mean, that's all I have to say about this.
Mm.
And actually, because all these kind of things, what leads to economic terrorism? Because what now happens is neighboring countries now begin to feast on us from the area of electricity, from the area of education. So everywhere around us except us becomes a destination somehow. So everybody wants to relocate one way or the other. Everybody wants to study abroad, and abroad could mean Ghana. You know,
Even Benin
yesterday it was
Republic.
announced that Twitter was situating its regional headquarters in Africa, in Ghana, and we had some people saying that Twitter is not blah 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 blah. But that's a statement. It's a statement. You can't call yourself giant of Africa. You're not an attractive investment destination. And just because of free speech, because of security, and all those things, right? So let's move to this one. Photo gets new female VC from the nation.
Congratulations to Puto.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Futo. I mean, I think it's a good thing. I remember Grace Alele Williams. I think I was in secondary school when she was, or I was just into the university. But Grace Alele Williams was amazing in Uniben that year. She brought in sanity into the system. She was fantastic. And I mean, she took the school to heights, organization, integrity. People were on their toes, literally. So having a woman at the helm of affairs is always, always a good thing. So yeah, I second Eben and say congratulations to Kuto. Thank
Who
you.
run the world? Girls, girls, girls are running the world now.
Thank you. But my take on this is a little different. I'm waiting for the day when it's not going to be a headline that a female gets a position. It's not going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, she's done something extraordinary. For the time when we begin to see it as normal, that a female can be the VC, a female can be the president, a female can be the governor. Like it's not novel. It's not something that we now think we need to celebrate. That's what I'm
That's
waiting
a
for.
new. Yeah, you're right. It's not something that we publish as a news. It should be a
It shouldn't
normal
be
thing.
news. Yeah.
There was. I don't want to
All
talk more
right.
about it so that it will be complicated because there was something happened in Unilag last year where the VC of the I think that would be Lutz Idiaraba. That is their I don't there's a name they call the what's it called? The nursing student. I think it was the federal government appointed a woman and then after a week it was turned over again that no, another person. I was just like, okay, it is allowed.
Now we can move to the topic of the day, and we're talking about
Yeah.
teacher collaboration. If you're watching us, this is the Good Morning Education Show, and we're excited that you're joining us today. So we're talking about teacher collaboration. We want to know what exactly is the length and breadth of this. What's the possibilities behind this? What should we be focusing on at the hour? What's available? What's stopping us? What's hindering us? What are the benefits? And what are the things that we should look out for? What are the pitfalls we should avoid when it comes to teacher collaboration? So I'm going to start with KK this morning. KK, when you hear the word teacher collaboration, if somebody was asking you, teacher, oh, she's out. All right, let me go to V. Teacher collaboration. In your own words, what is it?
Okay, for me, teacher collaboration will be teachers coming together to pull the resources together, pull the resources, material, intellectual, pull it together to achieve one aim, and that aim should be for increased student achievement and student learning. So, as against teachers fighting each other and being in competition and wanting to be, yeah, I want the prize for the best teacher, whatever, I want to be seen and want to be the one being raved about. Teacher collaboration is me bringing my 50 and you bringing your 50 and you bringing your 50 and we put everything together and we're able to have a bigger, a better learning community, learning system where the learners are having the best of all worlds.
Thank you so much. And I started with KK on the network threw her out, and she's back now. KK, teacher
Network through
collaboration.
to come back. Okay, so for me, right, collaboration generally, not just even teacher collaboration, comes from a place of awareness. It's me understanding the fact that what Rotimi is more of an orator than I am. Rotimi is more of an organizer than I am. He has that calmness on the inside of her that endears people to them. Eben is an artistic guru. It's me understanding the fact that when it comes to the safety of planning that event, I need safety chick to come and tie in all the loose ends. To me, that's collaboration. It's understanding who I am, where I am, what I'm not great at, and finding people who would 100% complement me based on a particular purpose. So the highlights that I would like to bring to this conversation are: one, it needs to come from a place of awareness. Why do I need to do this? And which is it's almost like when you think about a ship, right? A ship has a destination. So what is the purpose? What do we need to collaborate? And then along what ways do we need to collaborate? What about me will benefit from having extra people? And then how do I go ahead and find these people and into my uh, buy into my dream? So for me, that's what I see when I see collaboration. It starts first with me, the person who's that conversation, that connection, right? And it's important to understand what we're bringing to the table. And as teachers, the first thing that we need to think about is, why do I need to collaborate? You need to collaborate because you don't know it all. Even if you can do it all, you cannot do it all at the same time or on the same day. So you do need support from other people. So it's extremely important that as teachers, individuals, generally speaking, to be honest, that we begin to look at collaborative relationships as expansion of our capacity. If we don't look at it like that, then we will never get into it. And something that I hope we will take in this conversation is the place of trust, right? One thing that kills collaboration is trust. If I don't trust that you guys truly care enough about me or about my destination, then being bored is not going to happen, right? Or it's going to happen under so many caveats, and it chokes that the benefit of the collaborative relationships. Yeah, so back to you, Rotimi. Thank you.
Thank you for what you said. You mentioned something very instrumental, that it has to come from the place of trust. And I really want to put some caveat there, that trust is not perception. A lot of times we leave trust to the place of perception. So I look at how you sound, I look at who you are, I look at how I feel, and I just trust. But the truth about it is, trust is more of a conditioning. So which simply means that we must understand, when it comes to collaboration, as specific as the coming together is, as specific as the working together will be, there also has to be specific boundaries. So you must condition for trust. A lot of times people collaborate and they don't have even the slightest MOU to say that, we are coming together for this purpose, ABC. But then this is what is expected of everyone. We are not to do this, we are not to do this, we are not to do this. Just to make sure that no one in their sincerity, violates certain principles. Because sometimes what happens in collaboration is that you get to feel that you've been wronged, whereas the person that you said wronged you did not even have a clue that he did anything wrong. So we need to ensure that. That's a very powerful point, right? Let's go to safety check. So when we talk about teacher collaboration, what do you foresee as like a stumbling block to this?
Okay, so I would say that the feelings of inadequacy, and also the feelings of fear of being overshadowed. So in terms of feeling inadequate, some people think they don't have anything anything of value to collaborate with others. So if they even try to make any collaboration, person is not really a good person, that other party can take advantage of them, and that's because they don't even know what value they bring to the table. So it's really important that teachers must understand what value they bring to the table. You don't need to have everything to be a person of value. That's one that you have, and you know that you can do it in a way no other person can do it, or you can bring your unique twist to it. How can you package that value? Then the second one is, again, we have people who are afraid that, if I collaborate with someone, I would get overshadowed, or the one that did it. So this is why we must have a strong why for whatever it is that we're doing. What is your why? If your why, for example, is because you want the children to have certain experiences in school, I think you should be able to put your ego aside, whether you are the one in front of the billboard or you are the one at the back of the billboard. The goal is children. Now, that is not now to say that people should now take each other for granted. I always tell people during my strategy sessions with them that collaboration must be a win-win situation. We must find out what value are you bringing to the table, and what is going to benefit the other person. How will it also benefit you? So you've got to show all your cards from the beginning that this is what I want, this is what it will do for us. This is what we also do for you if you work with me on this project. So that way everybody knows what is expected for them and nobody leaves that experience feeling cheated. But again, they're still on this point of not feeling overshadowed. We must understand that there are times that not all of us, not everybody's name would be on the bill or on the sign. And we've got to be satisfied. We've got to be okay with the fact that the work gets done without our name necessarily being in the light. Because depending on what you are trying to achieve or the duration of time required, some things happen in phases. And so you must answer these questions within yourself first so that it makes it easier for you to foster if efficient and effective collaboration with other teachers.
All right, thank you very much. I also would need to weigh in on some of the things you said, because sometimes collaboration does not necessarily mean partnership, and I'll explain why. Because a lot of times, especially in our culture and the current trend we have, a lot of people have been raised with a capitalist mindset. Everybody wants to blow. And so the slightest call, once someone calls upon your giftings, calls upon your service, calls upon your usefulness, asks for advisory, everybody has been trained, has been raised to either find this as that's the big break, that's the big ticket. And like KK said, it's not always going to be like that. Collaboration in its first sense of it is not necessarily commercial. It drives value, it gives derivative of value, but it is not necessarily like you would treat a partnership. A partnership will mean that you're almost like saying, okay, what is your sweat capital? What are you bringing to the table? And all that. Sometimes collaboration is just you fitting into the picture that is preset. You're not probably prior to the pre-arrangement, you're not probably prior to the conceptual development, but you are fitting in. And it's priceless because honestly, for collaboration to happen at different layers, at different levels, we must recognize that once you are expected to come in, and just like Safety Chief said, you are not altogether CEO 24/7. You are not altogether pioneer 24/7. A lot of us go into collaboration still with our title and mantra, still with our expertise in the picture. You don't go into collaboration still thinking you're a life coach, still thinking you're a CEO, because in certain cases, once you come into that collaboration, you are a nobody. You're just a value in the value chain. And that sometimes used to cause a lot of things that people say, oh, they were not appreciated, which means that there were unrealistic expectations that were hidden in them because they felt that for me to have supported someone, everything has to be for sale. Right? And really, this brings me back to Eben. Now, Eben, talking about teacher collaboration, I know that we've had this conversation many times at our usual spot. We've not been on that usual spot for a long time. So, someone will be thinking our usual spot is not anywhere, please. But I'm just saying that we've had conversations, and honestly, looking at it from the education terrain, especially amongst teachers, right? Why should teachers collaborate? Why? I want you to zone in practical sense of it.
Yep.
Your mic is
Okay.
muted.
Yes. Teachers' collaboration actually occurs when members of the school community, from the gate man to the teacher to the cleaner to the head of school, and everybody works together towards the achievements of the students, towards the goal and academic performance of the student. And this is very important. The goal of a school environment is to increase three major things: the skills, the value, and the knowledge. And those three things, collaboration are actually needed to achieve those three things. You cannot achieve knowledge without working with all the subject experts in the whole of the school. And that is why a math teacher is very important. Likewise, the science teacher is important. Likewise, the music teacher is important. If you think you are over important as a math teacher and you decided that, yes, everybody needs me, my subject is overrated, this and that, and you don't regard the music teacher, maybe you decided that, okay, this period, please don't come for them this time. We are not done with the math with our math in our classroom. Can you please just, maybe next week we are going to do art or math? Those subjects are just they are just extracurricular activity, they are just for activity sake, but this one is very important. That is also another thing I say about collaboration in the school. We should be able to see other subjects as very important in the school environment, and by the time we see them as important in the school environment, it is going to lead to the achievement of the school. And then also, another way I see collaboration is also to think out of the school itself. I have actually collaborated as an art teacher to so many schools outside Africa by making sure that my children get to learn about what is obtainable, what is obtainable globally, which I call a form of I forgot the word, but it is very simple. You look for a student out there outside of Nigeria that your student can learn with, and then you collaborate together. There are so many ways it can actually be achieved. And I know that without collaboration, there won't be an organization. But we have a very big problem. The problem is that in our school system, we are not being taught to collaborate. We are only being taught on how to protect our CGPA. You remember when we are in school? When you're in school, when you're writing exam, everything will be all about you. When you want to go and read, you may even have a past question that everybody don't even have, and then you go and keep it to yourself and make sure that you read it alone so that you pass the exam. Collaboration should be taught from the primary school to the higher institution. The seating arrangement, there should be collaboration. There should be posters around the school that talks about collaboration. There should be encouraging word on the assembly that talk about collaboration. Even from the government will even serve as an example towards collaboration. And this can actually turn to a culture in us that at the end of the day, collaboration will just be a normal thing. We should be able to collaborate freely without my picture being there, that I am part of the achievement, I am part of the people who actually make this program a success. And so many people, even in school environment, thinks that collaboration is all about my name must be on the list of the people who actually work to make this project done, this and that. We call it glory. And at the end of the day, without collaboration, politics will begin to play in the school environment. I think maybe by the time we continue the show, there will be more questions for me to talk about a lot. I think I'm beginning to talk left, right, left, right.
Thank you so much. But let me just say this, that it's also important for us to balance this as possible. Um, when we collaborate, we must make sure that we provide opportunity for recognition and reward. The reward might not be that you are visible, but at least acknowledgement is a reward, appreciation is a reward, welfare is a reward. Sometimes, to a large degree, remuneration or share of profits is a reward. Something that shows that the effort or the input was not just there. You know, sometimes it might just be a speech that recognizes a team of people who have been able to contribute to the success story of that particular thing. That's one. However, there are certain rudiments that we must not be ignorant of when it comes to collaboration. I think that most times we are not aware of the picture, we are just aware of our desires. And our desires sometimes put us in somehow in a stuck state, you know. Eben, I don't know if you remember, there was something you said to me one day, and I challenged you after saying that. And you said that, is it possible that an education post will have up to 50 something thousand likes? Can you remember? And I
Yeah.
said to him, I said, why not? It's possible. It was like, no, 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 it's not possible. And the reason you said that was also valid because most of the time, people will rather not want to support you because they sense their support contributes to your success and growth. And when they do that, they think that it is an hindrance to them as well. So if I don't make Eben grow, there's still a chance for me to grow. But if I make Eben grow, then it leaves me out of place. And that's why a lot of unnecessarily stinking competition, goes out there. Do you understand? We need to understand that once the bigger picture is seen, for the sector that you are looking at to develop, it will require an effort of some to really go far for it to attract the benefit that will affect many. It's always been like that. Some people might have to be a visible face of success within the sector, especially as teachers, for everyone to now be recognized. So think about teacher welfare, think about teacher quality, think about teacher training and professional development, think about teacher supply, think about anything that you want to talk about, teacher innovation. All these subsets are proponents that if you don't get a few people to demonstrate that this thing is possible, it might not open the door for everyone. Look at what KK is doing, the teacher makeover, right? Look at what so many people are doing, fantastic stuff. But it will require that understanding. And that's the next question that I want to bring to Finn. And I'm going to ask this question, Finn. How would you suggest or how would you advise in terms of placing this how do I put it now? Like this rule of thumb that says, let us make one a success so that that one can bring us in. The concept of your testimony becomes my testimony. You understand? How do we, foster that into the fabrics of what we're talking about today?
Okay, so teamwork, they say, makes the team work. And the root of us being of supporting one and making one out of the number so that it's easier for the rest of the group to find a footing or to find an entryway is in what we have been saying. One, how confident and sure am I in my abilities, in my capabilities, in what I know, knowing that if I decide to step back and say, look, I prefer for this person for us to support this person and help them get to where to be more visible. It doesn't take anything away from me. Rather, I stand to gain something in the long run. So it stems from us being confident in who we are. It stems from us having developing ourselves to the point that we don't see that other person as a threat. If you put together in a team and you say, oh, we have one person that we all want to push, we all want to support, and there are people in that team who maybe, for instance, they have a lower degree. What automatically goes in their mind is that, look, by the time this person is out there, I will become irrelevant. I will become pushed out the of the picture. I cannot compete with this person. So for us to do that, it lies more with individuals. It lies more with us saying, I'm confident in who I am. Two, I'm going to also invest in my own personal development. It may not be on that large scale. There could be just limited funds. There could be funds for just one person to go for an extended training or to travel out for a training. But what can I do with the resources at my disposal? What can I do on Google? What can I do on other sites that offer professional training and even certification? How do I position myself to be next time there is somebody else that we want to push and make that person our story and make that person our testament? How do I come up on that list? And then for us to realize that, look, it's for the good of all of us. We're all, if we have one of us, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes, we're talking about um maybe the rector or something of a polytechnic being the wrong fit for the job. If we have the right fit for the job, most of the things that we're complaining about in the sector will be out of the place, because this person knows, this person feels our pain, this person understands what the challenges are and what the likely solutions should be. So on the long run, the resources we scatter around trying to look for individual help, trying to lobby, all of the effort we put into individually seeking solutions, we can find it in one place. We can have it more accessible. We can have it tabled, and we can find it in one place, because one person, we have collectively worked to put that person in the position where they are now able to affect the industry. I like what Safety Chick said when I think at the beginning of the week, when we're talking about her funding for her program, and she said, look, I have contributed to the society, now it's time for the society to contribute to my studies. That's what it should be. We shouldn't it's not time for me to now say, oh, I also want to go and study something. It doesn't matter what it is, but I also want to be seen as relevant. I also want to be seen as making sense. I also want to be seen as doing something with my life, and then quickly go and look for one admission somewhere and say, oh, people come and crowdfund me. The more we band together and are able to pull these resources together, the less of the issues that we keep discussing in scattered in scattered pieces, and the more we are able to focus on growth, productivity, and development.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I really want to bring KK back up. And I want KK to really share from practical experience two sides. Number one, how has she been able to successfully collaborate with people? And going forward for the future, what would be your counsel to those who are seeking to grow, how they can explore the route of collaboration? KK.
Hello, Rotimi. Sorry, I missed some of that question.
So I want you to share with us your experience in collaborating with people, and then going forward for those who are trying to do more with themselves. How do you counsel them towards getting to collaboration?
Mhm. Okay, great. So to be honest, right, the first thing when I think about collaboration is the issue of ego and trust. At least on my level, it's not an issue. Sometimes it's not an issue of, and to be honest, I guess maybe like what Safety Chick said, right? Sometimes the ego can be hiding the fear of not being enough, that fear of, can I do this? But people, are brash about it, and it seems like as if they can't. So with my own experience, there's certain people that I enjoy collaborating with, because they're able to shed the issue of self and throw in into the mix, what the collaboration really needs. For some, I guess it's all very personal, really. For some people, the first thing they think about is, how will my name feature? And it's not really about your name, right? It's about this thing, right? So we're all steering this ship. Nobody's really in the lead, that kind of thing. If that's the sort of collaboration, I mean, there are different types of collaborations. There are collaborations where you are coming to support somebody. There are collaborations where everybody's coming together and everybody's on the same level in terms of maybe leadership, leading the project, right? But I enjoy collaborating because I don't know everything, and even if even if I'm a subject matter expert on that particular area I'm collaborating in, perspective matter, and my audience is varied, so it's always important that I have many different type of people such that they can connect with the different audience. For example, when we did the teacher makeover, I didn't take all of the sessions. I took some of the sessions. Some of the sessions I moved over to members of my team. And why I did that was because they are the ones teaching in today's world, right? They understand the fears, they understand the limitations, they understand what it means like being online and worrying about submitting that lesson, so they understand all of the dynamics. So I pulled in people. So for people who are trying to collaborate, I'll say go for it. But I would say understand the purpose first of all. What's the purpose of that collaborative relationship? Why do you want to collaborate? Understand where you want. If you're the one that is spearheading the project, then understand and be very clear with everybody else what they will be doing. People need to understand what they're doing because that creates boundaries and that creates structure, and then it allows the process to flow easily without there being kinks and ego flare-ups and things like that. Document it if you want to write it down. It's not necessarily about money, to be honest with you. It's about value and about impact and influence. So sometimes you want to say, you know what, this is what you will. You want to let people know who you want to pull into the collaboration, what they would gain by being in that collaboration, and helping them understand that, oh, you might develop yourself, you will connect with these other people, those sort of things. Sometimes people need that, and it's not just for the joy of it that they will throw themselves into it. They need that little extra. I would say be very clear about the timelines of the collaboration. Where are we starting? Where are we ending? If it's something that is going to end, I would also say that be clear about the boundaries. We're collaborating on this project. It's not that you're going to be part of my personal life, So it's important that we are clear about these things, such that not true now. We're clear about this such that people understand, and then they don't start feeling, but we're doing this together now. I should be able to call you at any time. I should be able to come and visit you at any time. So it's always important for us to set appropriate boundaries, and not just in our minds, but actually communicate these boundaries.
Yeah.
That's really important, especially if you want that to work well. That's it from me. Thank you, Rotimi.
Thank you so much. So powerful, right? Because a lot of people out there sometimes will say, oh, they've said it, we should collaborate, and then they jump and they miss out on some of these safety tips. And the issue is not that people are bad. Sometimes it's just a misalignment or our values not coming together. So sometimes it's not that people are bad, but the issues we always have with people comes from a place of alignment at times. I normally would say that collaboration sometimes starts on the surface, but we need to be able to go gradually beyond the surface of collaboration and start thinking of what I call combination. Because sometimes, especially for teachers, when you say teachers should collaborate, if everybody begins to gravitate towards likes. Oh, so I need an art teacher to work with an art teacher. I need an English teacher to work with an English teacher. But you see, there's a level of collaboration that someone will look at it and say, a lot of people out there have content, have great things, have this, have that. Okay, you know what? Someone can collaborate. I'm sure most of you know about teach.ng. He has a platform where you can easily come as someone who has content, and then he has made that platform where you can plug in your courses, and then he pushes that platform, and everybody gets to see what you've done. That's collaboration. It's combination. It's taking people and bringing them together beyond the likes. That's looking at our likeness is not what drives but it's our exploration of the tendencies and the possibilities, and of course the profitability available and accrued to us. So we must try as much as possible, to do that. Let me just read one or two comments and we'll call it a day as we have our wrap up or parting shots. A Facebook user says, when teachers collaborate, they develop important professional and personal relationship. Absolutely. They also build shared expertise that leads to school improvement. Thank you so much. In fact, one of the things that I've noticed is that in the education space, we don't have so much of shared expertise. So how it's done, how we made it, how this was done, sometimes we don't even have it at all. And it actually limits the growth in the sector. So as we bring the show to a close, I would like for you to share a parting shot, Eben, Safety Chick, and then KK.
Okay, so I would say that when we collaborate, there is no stopping us. When we collaborate, there is no there is no vision, there is no objective that is too big or that is impossible. the more we pull our resources together, the more we share our spaces together, the more we are open to being help to each other, the more we learn, the more we grow, and the happier we are as individuals.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
collaboration is key, and I believe that it should not be about you alone. You should also make it possible with others to join you, learn from them, unlearn what you have learned, relearn what you have learned, and then from there be ready for greater success and also ability to improve more on what you have known. Collaboration is key in 21st century. In years to come, collaboration is going to be the number one skill that everybody out there we need to succeed in our spiritual. And if you are a teacher out there, also teach collaboration in the classroom. Embrace how you can actually make collaboration to be seen. Example, pictorial pictures, posters around the school, and also talk about it as a form of debate, talk about it as form of advice to the student, so that we create a continuous process of collaboration to the end. Thank you.
So I would say that collaboration amplifies impact. If you want to go further to make more impact, it's best to work with like minds.
Sarotimi, your mic is muted.
So, KK,
So yeah, just to re-echo what everybody has said and what Safety Chick has said, if you do want to go further, you want to go together, right? Because that's how everybody would pull everybody up. If I remember, yeah, so that's what I would say. But before you go into that collaborative relationship, understand exactly what the purpose is and have a framework for it. And don't be rigid enough to imagine you don't need to tweak it as you go along. You will need to tweak it. But even having an understanding of why you need to have it and how you're going to go about it and the definite end goal is the best way to start. And thank you so much, Sarotimi.
thank you so much. And there you have it. We've had a lot of things to learn and glean from today's session. I hope that you're able to put them to practice. I normally tell people it's not what you know that matters, but it's what you do and how much you do with what you know. So we'll be back tomorrow for another edition, another episode on the Good Morning Education Show, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. But before then, make sure you have a great day. And I'd like the ladies to take us out of the show. Over to you, ladies.
It's always a
It's
great morning on the
always a
Good
great
Morning
morning on the Good
Education.
Morning Education Show.
It's always a great
Yeah,
morning. Make it
let
a
me add
great day.
rap to it.
God
Yeah,
bless
yeah,
you.
yeah. Bye.
All the way from Las Vegas,
Nevada.
Nevada. Take care. Bye.